Hey, welcome to the Red Sea. My name is Jesse. Before you jump into that video, make sure you visit KoolaidMan100x.com to get custom ebooks and other things that's available on the website. Link will be in the description below. Also visit the NFL shop to get yourself some Kansas City's Chiefs gear and your own personal team gear as well. And also, all the other sponsors will be in the description below. Now back to Kool-Aid.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Kool-Aid Man 100X. Welcome to the Red Sea. How you doing? So we're going to be jumping into the Colts offensive playbook again. We're going to be looking at a play called Gun Bunch Tight End. We're going to be looking at a play called the the motion snag under. I've not seen anybody run this play. As far as I'm concerned, I thought it was a fantastic play for a goal line situation, or if not, a first down. Shoot, my bad, I'm yarning, but trying to stay up do these videos for y'all. Now the motion snag under is a fantastic play. A lot of people should use this play, especially in a 5-yard situation. With my 5 and 1 theory would definitely work. Also, if you're interested in learning my 5 and 1 theory tactic, that'll help you use every last play in the game, where you can actually figure out to use it with no adjustments. And understanding that you don't have to adjust, you can actually pick a play and use it as you want to against any defense. So, definitely become a member, and you'll be able to see that video available. So, what we need to understand is, 5 and 1 third, we find our 1 and our 5. So, when I'm looking at this play, when I first got into running this play, I started looking at, there's a motion in here that gives you a nice little understanding on how the play works. So, what I like about it is that it got that little trail route that opens up so much stuff. So, this is where it interests me. So, when I started looking at X being my 1, I started understanding, like, okay, if X my 1 off the motion, how can I make this play functional with him being my 1? And when I understand this 1 was so good is that it works in a particular way of a running back coming out the backfield in a Texas route. So I will have to identify this as, him as a Texas route. So to understand my route system is that I will have to look at the next route to look at him being open. So what we're going to be doing is looking at square and see how that affects X to push him open. So in this situation, he steps forward. So that linebacker guards him. So now we're understanding, like, okay, now it's good in zone, man, whatever, how that works. So in this instance, he's coming across. So he doesn't pick him up. So X will probably be my 1 if that linebacker does not drop back in zone. So he'll be pretty much wide open half of the time. So he's probably going to be my 1 basically. So my 2 is going to be square because X can trail him. So for this guy here, he's going to be picking him up on the next play. He has to. And the reason of that is that he's going to be open. He's going to be open automatically. So if my calculations are right, if he picks him up, bam, he'll be right there again. So he didn't pick him up. They're still in zone. So if he's still in zone here in this situation here, right? If he's in zone right here, and this is the stuff I hate about Madden in motion. They always bump the players. See? So when he comes in, he was actually supposed to run that route completely. So that route should have been, already going. So that's a failed route. So in this instance here, we should see him come across off pressure here. So off pressure, he came straight across perfect. So what we need to do here is look at that linebacker that drops back. So we see him, he actually guarded him all the way through. So, okay. So this is where we have to look ahead. So let's look at what Hop can do, which is R1. So once we start seeing the opposite side, now we actually seeing the play a little bit more better. So now we're seeing R1 take out. So that's the person I should be looking at for other players to be open. So from him. So Once I see option, he comes back down and pressure him. So, okay, he drops back and guards him a little bit better. So I will have to look at R1 to see if X or square is open. You see what I'm saying? With no adjustment. So in order for me to make this play work, I will have to look at R1 to see. So bam, right there. Now you're seeing the difference, how the play is being developed. So now I'm looking at R1. I'm looking at R1, seeing if he's taking the defense back, and I could actually pick between which one to go to. Now he got body over him, so now it's actually breaking it down a little bit more better. So it's a little difficult, but we're going to make it work. So in order to do this, we're going to have to look at X heavy. So in order for square to work, we will have to look at the motion between R1. Now, let's go to the right side, which is Kelsey. So this is where it gets interesting in this play. I thought it was kind of funny because we have to see him on a block and release. He does not get off to the release. So in situations on where they're sending pressure, he's not going to get off the release. So in this play, it would probably have to be an adjustment, but I wouldn't say it would be because a lot of people do not motion in inside. So we're still looking for it. And if we wait on it, he's always there on that sideline. So that's what I'm saying. Looking at R1 will probably be our best bet for R2 because depending on the pressure, we have to see which one is which. So if we see it, we can hit them and all that other stuff. Now, a lot of people that don't understand your closest receiver, right? So let's check this out. The closest receiver, you can actually make him go straight up. So this is really what changes the game. So your closest receiver, you can just press the right stick and you can do that situation. Still no adjustments have not been done. So your best bet, if he runs out and he's pressing him, bam, you get that automatically every time. So R1 will probably be your 2. Your 1 is X, depending on X and square. But I wouldn't hold my breath on square because he can be guarded so tough. So X will probably be your best bet. Then your 2 is square. Your 2 is R1 and your 3rd is square. Depending on what defense they're running, because they're going to guard it. I can't, because depending on square, they have to be in man to make me throw that. If they're not in man and he's sitting on him, I'm not throwing it to him. So in this instance here, if he's sitting on square, like he's about to sit on him, I'm not going to throw to him, depending on how the defense is ran. So in this instance, if we go back in the instant replay, I was looking at him, but I still didn't want to risk it because he dropped down. See, he dropped. He was ready. See, he was already ready in that position. Then he dumped off to the out route. So let's give you an opportunity of what to run here. So our best bet would probably be X is R1, R2 is R2, and square would be our 3rd, and our 4th would be circle, depending on if he gets off the block. But in this formation, I would say 75% of the time he won't be able to get off that block. But if he does, you'll be able to throw to him, depending on how the block is actually set up. So the reason why I wouldn't say 75%, I would say a good, 75, 80. If he does not get off of it in time, you'll be able to, hit him very soon. But I hate that because I don't want to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. So it has to be situational. But I don't want to take any risk on throwing anywhere. So that comes down to the play of, forcing it in with X as much as I can and pass leading down where the defender can't get there. But we have to look at R1. If we don't, we have to identify where that X is going because X is going to probably be our only receiver we can throw to at that particular time. Depending on if the defense is not sitting, if you see how he's sitting, that sit on square. Let me show you in the instant replay. So I'm just throwing it to X to show you. I'm trying to get that. It's situational. If he's sitting, see how he's sitting on square? You don't want to throw that. You want to throw to R1 because when he break off, wide open. So that's why I said R1 is going to be your 2. So R1 is going to be your 2, and the rest is pretty much how you're going to throw to, because once you get there, bam, he's pretty much wide open every time. See what I'm saying? So once you start hitting R1, that should open up square a little bit more. But if he's sitting on that route, I'm telling you, do not throw it. You see, he's sitting on that route. See how he's sitting now? But just like I said, when he's sitting on that route, this is where your decision right here. He's sitting on that route. Force that X here in that window. You see how the X is being forced here? Then you already see your route for Kelsey is gone, pretty much basically. The route for Kelsey is already gone. He already picked up block fully. So your best bet is going to be forcing X for that extra yard to pull through. Now, I ain't going to show you 0 because 0 you pretty much could have just, took off. But this, we're going to talk about that. That's going to be in the 5-to-1 theory. So, but yeah, if he's sitting on this route here, you can throw it, but I wouldn't risk it. I will take the risk of R1 before I take the risk of square because he can actually pick that off. So, that's it. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.